Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be kind of doing a semi-flush on the transmission fluid on a 2006 Ford Powerstroke 6 liter. It's going to be pretty much similar on different vehicles, besides this one has a drain plug on the transmission pan, and some vehicles you just got to pull the whole transmission pan just to drain it. So stay tuned for the next step. Okay, a couple things for the job. On this one, it's got an inline filter, and we're going to use an impact to take that off. That's a 7/8 socket. For the drain plug itself, which is the first thing we're going to take off, it's a 13 millimeter. And then once we get it drained out, and I got a big drain pan here, I use this tub just for a drain pan. Make sure it's wide enough to go around where the pan is, because it'll be dripping out of there. So, but what we got to do is take the pan off, and then we got the filter that goes in the pan, and then after that we'll take the inline filter off, and this is just a cotton filter. And on stuff like this, I like to use the factory stuff. And then one important step is just make sure you have the right fluids, because every vehicle, you know, different brands take specific fluids, and just check your owner's manual, or online you should find that information. Hey guys, I'm underneath the vehicle right now, just to show you what we need to take off. So this is the transmission pan, and it's directly behind the engine oil pan. So on these trucks, they have a drain plug on the transmission pan, and a lot of the lighter duty trucks and cars, they probably don't have that. So what you'd have to do is just unscrew part of the bolts, and this is kind of a messy job. So you just kind of unscrew, and whenever you do this, you want to change the filter that's inside here. But on this one, takes a 13 millimeter for the drain plug, and a 10 millimeter for the take the whole pan off. And so first we're gonna drain it, and then we're gonna take the pan off. And you'll want to make sure you got a wide enough drain pan for this, because it's gonna be kind of a mess. And then we're gonna clean the pan out, and then we'll change out the filter. And on this one, there's actually two filters. There's an inline filter. I don't know if you can see up in there. That is the inline filter, and that'll be a 7/8 socket. And I've been told that you need to use an impact to take that one off. So for this application, that's what it's going to take. So, but first step, drain it. Then we'll show you the step in a minute. Okay, first we're gonna loosen up the drain bolt and drain out the fluid. Go ahead and loosen it, Shane. And you're gonna kind of have to hold your hand to the side so you don't get oil all over the place. And don't let it go. And I just got the drain pan underneath it. And good thing about my truck, that it's got a lift. I mean, it makes it a lot easier to work underneath, but you know, in the engine bay, it's not that great. So, but okay, there it is. We're just gonna let that drain out, and come back, and next step is to take the pan off. Okay guys, so we're done draining. We're just going to put the drain bolt back in, because this is the messy step, and one less spot to be leaking. So once we take this off, it's just going to be leaking under here, you know. So trying to get the drain pan just situated right underneath it. Next step, put that in, and then we're going to take all these bolts all the way around it. What we're going to do is we're going to take all the bolts out except for a couple on each side, and then we're both gonna one of us is gonna take the bolts out and one of us is gonna hold that up, the drain pan up there. So okay, Shay, go ahead and put the drain bolt back in. Just like hand tighten it so it doesn't leak. Okay, and you got the 10 millimeter? Yeah. No, that's the 13. Get the 10. And the extension. And just go ahead. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go loosen these all up, and then you could use your air ratchet or electric ratchet to take it out. Let me grab a short 10 millimeter. I need the threaded strip. Shane, look. One thing I did notice was right here at the cross member, there's these bolts on the rear of the transmission pad, and they're kind of, I can't really get I might need to get a wobbly to get these out. So I'll be back with the wobbly. Okay guys, so I just had to get a wobbly. Just gonna loosen these up. And then I'm going to start going through and start taking them out. What'd you do? Yeah, take them all out. They're already loose, so you don't need the ratchet. You can just do it by hand. I mean, have to get them. gonna sit. It might start leaking, so good. Is that it? One more.
That it,
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna reset it. Okay, guys. So we got most of the bolts out. I just left 2 on each side. Now we're just gonna remove those and hold the pan up at the same time. Okay, guys. A little tip. Make sure you have a roll of paper towels next to you, or rags or something. Shay, can you grab the paper towels? Okay. Ready, hold the pan up, Shay. You gotta hold it with one. Yeah. And then I'm gonna loosen this side. I'll take it out all the way. And make sure it's centered. Okay, here you go. I'm gonna hold it. You got it? I'm gonna hold it. I got it.
what's that?
Just loosen it where you take it out by hand. Is
Yeah.
it loose? Take it out by hand. Just use your finger. Shake counterclockwise.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you got it? Get out of the way.
Wait.
Huh? Are you tightening it back up or
No,
what?
I'm not.
Huh?
Because the pan centered it that way. Here, there. That.
You got it?
Yeah, all the way
Okay,
up.
help me out. It's one side. Okay, we're gonna pull it. We're gonna pull it down. Okay, and we're gonna pull it back, and we're gonna tip this side. I guess it doesn't matter which side. Okay, we'll tip. Well, we gotta pull it back. So, okay, let it down carefully. Okay. Oh, there goes the. Turn out the. Pull down. Pull down. Okay.
Okay, now what?
And I think I could just pull it out from here without tipping it over. Actually, it's done. Okay. There you go, guys. We succeeded without making too big of a mess yet. So. And then here's the filter right here. We're just gonna pop that out and clean up the pan and put it back in. So okay, so we're just gonna remove the old transmission filter. You got it, Shay? Just kind of wiggle it back and forth. Just gonna pull it straight down, and oil's gonna come out. Sorry, careful. Okay, there you go. Okay. I think I'm just gonna set that right there. That, and get some paper towels. Give me a piece. Okay guys, so my son was asking what all these are for, and these are just like the shift solenoids and stuff. They control, you know, they open and close a valve for different pressures. I'm not a transmission specialist, but I do know that they, transmissions work off pressurized fluid, and that's why it's different than your engine oil. But these just, the computer just opens and closes these, and it just lets pressure go different areas, and that's how it shifts and does other stuff. So so the next step is we got to remove the seal from the old. So this is the new filter, and that seal is still up inside there. So we just have to get it out. Now, one thing you got to be careful about is do not scratch the inside of there, because if you get scratches and stuff, it'll leak, and it'll cause a lot of different problems with you. So I got the seal remover. I'm going to see if this works. It might not fit. But if you're careful, I have it in other cars. I have just I didn't want to damage it, so I just left it in there. But I wouldn't recommend that. And then I just put the new filter on. But it did work. It didn't have any problems ever. So, but if you're not comfortable with that, I mean, I'd recommend definitely taking it out. In there. Move a little bit that time. Okay, and I got it, guys. So that's what we got. So okay, we're gonna put the new filter in. Just gonna make sure it feels okay. Everything feels good. Where did the filter go? Probably just put a little bit of fluid on it just to make it go in a little easier. And then this should just pop straight in, and make sure you get pushed up all the way in there. Okay, and that's it for that filter. So next we're just gonna clean up the sealing surface where the gasket goes, all the way around here, and then we're gonna go to the pan, and we're gonna clean the inside of that out and just check for contaminants, metal. If you see any metal or anything, then that's kind of indications of a problem. So it's kind of good to inspect that right now. So okay guys, so we got the transmission pan out here. This is kind of the magnet. There's going to be some metal on the magnet, but overall the pan looks really clean, so I'm kind of feeling good about things. The fluid is a nice reddish color, which you want to see, but you know, it does look like it needs change. It is getting kind of dark, so I'm kind of glad I'm doing this right now. But other than that, I don't see any big chunks of metal. Looks pretty good, so I'm just going to clean this up and then get it put back on. So, okay guys, we're just going to put the transmission pan back on. And I just put the gasket. This gasket is actually reusable on this this model of truck. I just put the gasket on the pan first and shake it a couple bolts. Put one in. Oh, we gotta fit that up. Give me a bolt, please. And let's see. Get it lined up with the hole. And nothing, we're just gonna get started. And I like to get these bolts at least 3 turns started by hand before you start tightening them up. Remember the transmission is aluminum, the red will strip out real easy. Can you grab me the deep socket? Yeah, no, that, you got it. Get the back. Get more bolt. Yeah, that's it. Good. That's it. That's it. Maybe one more. 2 more. Yeah, okay. You guys always make sure that your bolts are lined up with your holes to your gasket, and that you get all the bolts in there before you tighten them down. I mean, let's start it. Yeah. Okay. Now what I'm doing is just going around and tightening them all the way by hand before I use the ratchet and tighten them down. Go ahead, tighten those up. Okay, good. Okay guys, I'm going to try to show you how I do this. We got all the bolts just hand tight right now. So how I do this usually is I've done this a few times, so I kind of know there is a torque spec. I'm not sure what that is on this truck, but I kind of got a feel for how tight. And I've done a few of these, and it doesn't. I've never had one leak yet. And I always start with the center bolts and just kind of slightly, not tighten all the way, just kind of slightly tighten. Just center bolts on each side. Can you come? Sure. then I slightly tighten the next bolts out from the center on each side. And just kind of work my way out like that, and then work my way back in. And these bolts, they don't need to be cranked down super tight, they just need to be snug in there. And sometimes I'll use like a 1/4 inch drive ratchet just so I don't over tighten them, but I'm pretty confident that this will be good. I'm going to start back in the middle and just kind of finish. And you notice if you go, when you come back to the center one, it's kind of loosened a little bit just because everything is kind of evening up. Okay, just gonna tighten up the drain bolt again. Always don't forget that. Now we're gonna go over to the inline filter and pull that off and replace that one. Okay guys, I'm just gonna mark the filter housing with a Sharpie just so when I tighten it back down I know it's back to where it's supposed to be, so I know it's tight enough. And then I was told that these are really tight and to use an impact to take them off, so hopefully it doesn't mess anything up. I'm going to try it. Looks like it worked, so I'm just going to take it off the rest of the way by hand and be careful, Shade. I think oil's going to come out of here, so.
Pause the video.
Huh? What?
Don't pause the video.
No. Okay. Okay. There it is. I guess just be careful to not lose that spring. I'm just going to pull this off, and I guess I just should I go ahead and film over here. And I guess that's the filter right there. Okay, go ahead and pause it. Okay guys, I just put the spring onto the filter here, and it just kind of pushes in that, and then I think it's just gonna push in up there. And I think it should stay there to be able to put the housing back on, and then just gonna tighten this down. And just, I recommend don't use the impact to put this back on. Okay, and it's back to the mark that I put on it, and that's it guys. Now we're just gonna put oil in it and start it up, make sure it's up to level, and go drive it, come back and drain it again.
Okay, so we're gonna use 7.5 quarts, and we're gonna just we're gonna have the funnel into it. We're gonna take out the dipstick and put the funnel into there real quick.
Get a paper towel real quick.
Okay.
Got it?
And right now we're using 8, but we have 8 bottles, but we're just gonna use 7.25. So
There's gonna be like a seal on there, so you gotta break that off. No, maybe not. Good. Can you reach? While he's filling, I'm just gonna go under there. Oh shit! Hold it. You got it? Get red. Get paper towels. And we're trying to be so careful and make a mess. So. Maybe get over here and shut it. So far it looks dry. Make sure you put the lid back on it. Don't dump it. Here. And where we got this information was from the service manual off this, so you could Google it off online for whatever vehicle you have. It's going to be different for every vehicle. And just remember when you're draining the transmission pan. You're not getting all the oil out of it because there's oil in other parts of the transmission that you can't get out. Some vehicles have a drains in areas like the torque converter. This one doesn't have that. So this is kind of the reason why what we're going to do is we're going to add this, start the truck, bring it up to temp, make sure the levels are good, and then we're going to drive it, and then we're going to drain it one more time and then refill it again, and hopefully that's kind of our home flush version of getting all the old oil out of there. You got 5 super.
And this one. It's gonna be at 16. Half is gonna be 16.
Yeah. Yeah, these are. This thing is 32 ounces, but yeah, just go with that. I mean, we might have to add a little more. We just got to see. That's what the manual says, but. Hold it firmly without, you're going to slip out of your hand and drop it everywhere.
Yeah, it's 16.
Here, put that on. Hold on, wait. Just take another empty bottle and actually just stop. Okay, so go ahead and put the dipstick back in. Okay guys, I'm going to go ahead and start the truck up, and because you got to check the fluid when the transmission's pumping the oil, and it's not going to be pumping the oil unless the engine is running. So just put it down there. Hey, watch out on this start. Okay guys, well I'm not going to bore you with draining out the transmission again, but what we're going to do to kind of flush out, we don't have the machine to flush it out at home, so what we do is we fill it up, we change all the filters, fill it back up, and then drive it, and then drain it again. We're not going to change the filters anymore, we're done with that, but we are just going to drain it one more time and refill it one more time. But I just want to go over just checking the transmission fluid, and this is different for different cars and everything. But on this car, it's going to be make sure on a level surface, put it into park, and I'm telling you this without it running because it's just it's a diesel. It's just way too loud to hear what I'm saying. But you're just going to pull the dipstick, and I usually have to do this kind of a couple times because it kind of catches some of the oil that's in the dipstick tube itself. So you're just going to clean off the end of it, and you're going to put it back in, and this is all when it's running. You're going to push it all the way down, you're going to pull it out, and you're just going to, and it's got these little levels on it, so I probably can't see that very well, but there's one side that says C for cold and one side that says H for hot, so that's to check it. If it's cold, it's going to be in this range, and this just means it needs to be in that range. If it's below that, then you need to refill it. If it's above it, I would definitely drain some out because it causes a lot of problems with shifting and everything. I'm not sure if it blows out seals or anything like that, but it'll cause problems with shifting, and it probably does blow out seals and stuff like that. So make sure it is in the range there. I usually try to have it in the top of the range. So, and that's it. And guys, please subscribe and hit the like button and comment for me if you see something that I should have done different. Let me know. This is just the way I do it. So, but this takes time to film this and everything. So, I'd appreciate any support I get. So, subscribe and like and check out my other videos. Thanks, guys.